The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out.
They go play action with Haskins. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long. Now Haskins, 3rd and long. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Olivier Vernon in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Now Landry. A great return there of 22 yards. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10. A first carry now for Nick Chubb. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. They go with Chubb on 2nd down. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 14 yards, and it's a Cleveland first down.
Nice little nifty play for him there. That's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backs out of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on first down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield escaping the pressure right. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. But he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially.
Check 9. Watch twist. Jim. He's crashing. He's checking crash. Check the backer.
They'll run with Chubb. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Nick Chubb, his 11th touchdown of the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Around the NFL, an update from a game going on down in Tampa. It's the Lions that have grabbed the early lead. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. Here's Haskins. Accelerating, and off he goes. Touchdown, Washington. A big play there. His 11th touchdown of the year as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. And nothing too crazy there. had a seam. He found a seam.
And when you hit it on the run like that, and I mean the pass right to the receiver who's already in motion and moving, sometimes he just takes it and runs away from everyone else.
And he ran it into the end zone. And the defense, they've got to adjust there quickly. That's tough on them.
That's really tough because everything was executed well. Ball was out of his hands quickly into the hands of the receiver, and then he was gone.
For the Browns, good starting field position as they have it 1st and 10.
Hey, alert 3, alert 3.
Big time drive. Let's go, boys. Let's go.
Mayfield on 1st down. Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back.
The competition comes up in so many different ways, and right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. How about 5 sacks last week? We just saw their first one of this game.
Let's go.
To try again after the sack. Mayfield flushed out right. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Montez Sweat in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
It'll be a gain of 17, but even with that, they'll be well short here for 4th down. Colquitt on the kick as he sends it away. And this one goes angling out of bounds, and it will be spotted inside the 30-yard line. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or division. A big seam, and he might go all the way. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Matt Breida, his 19th touchdown now on the season. And the Redskins have taken the lead. Extra point good by Hopkins. And that makes the score 14-7. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken at the 3. Oh, good move. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. That 7-0 lead of theirs short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula that got them down there the first time? Get back to something close to that, and maybe they get this game tied up.
And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. It's a 1st down on a gain of 10.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. He'll get about 4 as he's past the 35 to the 38-yard line.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
A run for Nick Chubb. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. On 3rd down, Mayfield. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And that's caught inside the 30. What a play that turns out to be, 36 yards. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. A good pickup there for the Browns, 15 yards. Right back to him on first down. No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. A loss of 2 there, second down. Bear in mind, that wasn't a big lineman back there for the tackle for loss. That was a cornerback.
So are you saying the myth has been shattered? That all of them are not just cover corners? Some of them actually will stick their nose in and tackle when necessary? That's what we just saw, isn't it?
A gain of 8 there on the 8th play of the drive. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. Jumpy on the right side of the line.
Sometimes when you're on the end, a little bit farther away from the ball, any type of movement will get you to jump, and that's exactly what happened there.
They only need a yard here. 3rd down and 1 after the penalty. Following the penalty, Chubb. And he takes this one in for a Brown score. Nick Chubb with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Extra point by Seibert up and good. And we've got a tie game here in a back-and-forth first half. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides of this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match than a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop.
They'll start on the ground with Breida. Space to maneuver at the 40. He's at the 40. The 20. 10, touchdown, Washington. Matt Breida with touchdown number 20 on the year as his guys are able to regain the lead. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
And the Browns are able to cover this one up. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. A second quarter onside kick there that failed. Is that something that maybe they had dialed up before this game started?
It feels like it, doesn't it? That they thought they had the right situation, you know, and the right approach in going after it. Also may signal that they feel like they have the superior team, that they can try these sorts of things and it won't come back and hurt them later.
Mayfield. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Matthew Ioannidis able to record his 5th sack of the season. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
Sponge! No!
Now Mayfield. Eluding the pressure right. He'll let it go deep for... Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. Past the 20. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Odell Beckham, 93 yards. As they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. These two teams in this first half, it's been fun. Back and forth, back and forth. Well, it's not fun for the defensive coordinators, but offensive coordinators are enjoying it.
Yeah, they're having streaks here, aren't they? Being able to put scores together and really bunch them up, and we have a tight game here. You know, we often talk about having the right shoes for the right turf. Today it's track shoes, because that's what we've seen with these offenses.
Yeah, it's been an absolute track meet so far, and fun to watch.
Switch. Watch the twist. Tighten up.
A handoff to Breida to begin the drive. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. On 2nd down, here's Haskins. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. 3rd down, here's Haskins. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Olivier Vernon, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Now the Browns signal for the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Tressway now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Call that on the punt with 7 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Cleveland offense ready to go. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10.
Check 26, check 26.
Pistol. Back. Undercrush.
Mayfield now. That's taken in by Callaway. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. 23 yards the pickup there. Mayfield now over 200 yards already in this first half. It's 1st and 10.
Check 31.
To throw, Mayfield. And he's going to go down. Back near midfield at the 40. Seconds to play here in half number 1. So they come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon.
Check nickel.
Here's Mayfield. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Montez Sweat, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down. Went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
Check 15.
From the gun, Mayfield. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So a challenge coming down from the booth, and that's where these challenges come from, of course, in the final 2 minutes of the half.
Yeah, now we're going to New York, right? That's command central for the officials. They'll talk, they'll take a look at it, communicate with the referee at the game site, and issue a final decision because they do have the final call now.
Out of bounds as he appeared to be looking for the corner. He got it. They're going to mark this at the 4-yard line. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. Time here for likely one play, and then these two teams will head to the locker room all even.
And you know the play caller's just feeling it right now. Let's go ahead and go for this one. A big shot down. No. Guarantee the head coach is like, don't get crazy. take the knee, let's get out of here, tie game, we'll just start all over.
So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we'll send you down to Orlando and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Browns drive about to get started. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game, we'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You got everything going your way. You're probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you.
And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And just like that, it's third down.
20, 59. Here we go. Check three. Hatchet.
One touch.
Mayfield to throw it. And that is incomplete. So no problems moving the ball in the first half, but they'll likely come up empty here on drive 1 of quarter 3.
And it was so important for the defense to get that stop because what we witnessed in the first half was them getting run over. And they needed the confidence, and they needed to get off the field so they felt good going forward in this game.
The Redskins take over first and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. Their defense did its job, yielded no points. Now it's the offense's turn.
And how much fun is that when you set things up to start a half and you just tell your guys, hey, if you can shut them down, get it back for our offense, we can roll. And they played out perfectly. Now, can the offense do what they wanted to do at the half, which is find those weaknesses and now attack them and score some points.
And break this tie. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Second down, Haskins. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Let's get this.
So it's 3rd and long, and defense. Here's Haskins to throw. They'll set up a screen for Breida. And he'll lose yardage and be down at the 7-yard line. It'll be a loss of 7 on the play. And that's going to make it 4th down. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Back in the return. An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense.
Oh, Chubb fumbled it, and the Redskins scoop it. And the big man get the oxygen tank ready. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
On first down, here's Breida. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Now Haskins to throw on 2nd down. Flush to his right. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half. On 3rd down, Haskins. That escapes the sack. Haskins hit, and he lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
On first down, Swift. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Back to the ground. This time it's Chubb. And he loses the football a 2nd time.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover.
Check hot route. Hot. He's checking.
First down, Mayfield. He's going to let this one go deep. And it's knocked away and incomplete. He was looking for Odell Beckham that time. And now it's 2nd down.
I remember a coach telling me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. Corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners have been really busy in this game, although they got it done on the last play.
On the last play, yes, but there have been some good numbers put up against him offensively. Now he's going to let it go deep left side. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. It's Quentin Dunbar with a pick. And he will bring this across midfield to the 49-yard line. That had disaster written all over it. You've got a right-handed quarterback, a rolling left, and throwing it pretty far downfield.
It's really difficult to do, to try and get your body twisted around into the proper position and get anything on the ball as you heave it downfield. And that's what it actually turns into, a heave. And that's not really a good throw, is it?
The result. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
An opportunity to get a drive started here at the end of the 3rd quarter. What you're trying to do is break the game down a little bit. Don't let your guys see too deep into the game, into the future, and say, oh, we got to get here. No, right here, right in front of them, melt the clock down, get to the 4th quarter, try and keep going.
And try to keep that lead.
Exactly.
From the 45 on 2nd down, Haskins. Jannard Avery in there to record another sack, and that is now 6 on the afternoon for this defensive unit. And we're back now here in Cleveland. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point, just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. On 3rd down, a run from Breida. Room to run inside the 40. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you. You go take. You got take.
Once again, they run with Breida on first down. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And he's got it all the way down to the 12-yard line. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. Haskins looking to throw on first down. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Morgan Burnett. A critical error there in a tight game of the fourth.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the fourth quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the fourth quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
And now it's 1st and 10, a big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup. A first down throw from Mayfield. Trying to lay one up deep. That's caught inside the 20. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 33 yards.
That could very well be a defining play in this game. A touchdown, that gives them a lead, and they took a major step towards getting there with that big play right there.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
16 yards, a first down. Working the sideline there. Good route, good catch. First down, and he gets out of bounds.
Now you have to like the play calling because you have to run some guys down the middle of the field to draw some of the defenders away. They can't just let them guard the sideline exclusively. That's how it's going to work. Sidelines and then completions to use the clock.
And he's in. Touchdown, Browns. Nick Chubb with his 3rd touchdown so far, number 13 now on the year. And once again, the Browns are back in front. Extra point by Seibert, up and good, and that will make this a 4-point game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get them down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
On 2nd and 9, Haskins. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. 12 yards there and a first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, you can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Well, they're going to get about 3 here out of this first down run, and that'll bring up 2nd and 7. The tackle made by T.J. Carey. From the 41, Haskins, and that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. From the gun, Haskins on 3rd down. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off right around the 43. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line.
Get ready. He's coming.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They run it again with Chubb. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Now, this is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here.
Watch the screen. Watch the signal.
Hey, alert, 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 alert.
And again, it's Chubb. And they'll get him down at the 34, and he's going to be short of the first by a few yards. It's a pickup of 13, but they're still a bit short, and it'll be 4th down.
It's 4th down.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. On the left hash, officially it's called a 51-yard attempt. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. Now, from a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a one-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not. Okay, being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Travis Carey.
You hear me laughing, partner, and I'm not laughing at the situation, but sometimes you just get yourself into a rut. It's hard to shake yourself out of it.
They'll run on first down. Swift. And some room to work. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game.
Good. 180. Get that quarterback, D-line. Get that quarterback, D-line.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44. The Redskins going to go ahead and use their final timeout as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in quarter number 4. The first down play, to be frank, nothing short of awful, and now they have to deal with second and very long. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. He'll get 3, but it leaves him with a big hole here on 3rd and very long. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. And here's a big one now. Try to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on fourth down. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off right around the 43. And he will bring this one back. It's a pick six for a Redskins touchdown. So they go on fourth down. Not only do they not get it, it turns into 6 points the other way. Disastrous.
And many people think you should just go ahead and knock it down in that situation. Turn it over for the offense. But I had a defensive coordinator recently tell me, we see that as a passive play. We don't do that anymore. We want the ball in our hands, and we want to head the other way.
It's probably also instinct a lot of times. If you see a lot of green grass ahead of you, go ahead and grab it.
It's the exact right play to do. That's knowing when to break the rules and when to make a play that maybe you hadn't been taught.
The Browns drive about to get started. Tie game, and barring something incredible here, we're likely headed to overtime.
And just a couple of scenarios here to keep in mind. One, if you want to be really aggressive, you do throw the Hail Mary and see if you can get something downfield.
What would you do?
What I would do is either hand it off inside or more likely to take a knee and let the clock run out. Because if I'm back there trying to throw and a sack happens, the ball comes free, I can lose the game here. If I get to overtime, I can still win it.
Let's see if they are in line with Charles Davis. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. Except for their first drive here in overtime. And this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. Doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team, and that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
It's been loud in here so far. They run again with Breida. And he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
They'll try to pick this up on the ground with Breida. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 12 yards is the pickup, and it's good for a Washington first down. Out of the shotgun, Breida. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. A Redskin first down. The pickup 15 yards. They go with the ground game, pick up the first, now in plus territory.
And that changes the whole mentality of a play caller, doesn't it? Once they cross the 50, they feel like they're in the strike zone. All right, you don't have to be in the red zone to take those big shots downfield or go after the end zone. Right now, that might be available to them.
And now this first drive in OT continues. Larry Ogunjobi there to make the tackle. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. 2 minutes left in this overtime session, and still all tied. On second down, a run with Breida, and he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34. They've had some success here in overtime on this opening drive running the football. Right back to that well.
And why not? When you have that kind of success, make them stop you, and until they do, keep going back to that well you just spoke about. I think there's more water there available to them.
First throw of overtime for Haskins. And Robinson with a big catch. His first catch, and it's a big one in overtime. It's a first down. Charles, you get into these overtime situations, that's not a bad guy to dial into.
Well, when you have to have plays, especially in a spot as you just described, we're in OT, you've got to go to the guys you can trust and you know are going to make the plays. What they say, it's not the X's and the O's, it's the Jimmies and the Joes.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Brings up 2nd and 9.
Here we go. Here we go.
At the 28-yard line.
Check three. Hatch it.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Breida. And only able to muster a couple down to about the 27. Now another timeout called for by the offense. They'll be left with just one remaining here at OT. What will they draw up to try to keep this opening drive of overtime moving? 3rd and 7. Now a toss play. It's Breida. And he is going to lose yardage here. That winds up being a 4-yard loss and leads to 4th down. He's had some big runs in this game. Not there, though.
But I don't think they're going to be deterred by that play right there. He's had some nice runs in the game. And how many times have we seen a good running back get stopped, yet turn it into something big on a later carry? I'd stay with him.
Now we're going to get a timeout with 5 seconds left here in overtime. So on comes the kicker, Dustin Hopkins, in a big spot. Now we're going to get a timeout with 5 seconds left here in overtime. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This to at least get them a lead here in overtime. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And that will break our tie and give them a 3-point lead. Now remember, this one is not over, but with the time running short here in this overtime, that could very well be the game winner.
Yeah, remember now, the other team does get a possession, but when the clock runs out, that's it. So that was a well-calculated drive to use up the majority of the clock and leave your opponent with little to no time left.
Short kick. One of the up middle take it down. And he will take this one all the way back inside the 35-yard line. Partner, a great game that we got to see and making it extra special. Not only did I get 4 quarters with you in this one, I got some overtime, a little whipped cream on top.
Look at you, trying to make this whole thing palatable.
I just want you to pay for my meal later.
You really just wanted 4 quarters what you wanted, but how much fun was that? We had that type of a game where we got us to overtime, and then we get the dramatic ending to finish things off as well. What a game.
So for the Redskins, they continue to be one of the best teams around as they move to 10-2, and they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Browns, this loss cost them in the playoff chase as they fall back to 7-5 on the year, and they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.